Hi everybody. Hi my 7th graders and my 8th graders. So 3D design crafts class, everybody's going to be doing the same material because this is something any 7th grader needs to know, and any of my 8th graders, this is something, if I haven't covered it with you already, this will be a really great thing for you to know right now. So last week, let's talk about last week before we get started with our newest project. Last week I started the 10-day drawing challenge, and that was a mistake. That I think in the end probably became very overwhelming for many of you. I think a lot of your teachers were trying really hard to give you really good instruction, and sometimes really good instruction looks like a lot of work that you have to do on your own, and sometimes, you know, folks get overwhelmed and don't think clearly, and I feel like a lot of you guys were just getting overwhelmed last week. Life is kind of different and weird and new right now, so I just want to make sure that you guys don't feel a whole lot of pressure coming from this side. We're going to do sort of a drawing that is extended, and we're going to turn it into something kind of cool when all is said and done. So no worries, we're going to have some check-ins, some dates where I just want to see progress. I'm going to grade you on your progress, and then we'll have a final sort of drawing expectation sort of load at the end, and I'll tell you what I'm looking for your final project. Okay, so I hope that's good. I hope you guys are doing well at home. I hope things are not too crazy for you. I miss you guys. I hope we can get back together soon. But in the meantime, we're going to start something new. 7th graders, you probably haven't heard of this before. We're going to be doing a 2-point perspective drawing. If you were with me in 6th grade or in 5th grade, perspective might be a word that is familiar to you. Some of my 8th graders, this might be familiar. Some of you guys, it may not be familiar. So perspective is a way to show depth in a picture. It's a way to show, you know, an area that you can reach out or walk into or create an illusion of space, which is so important for so many things. So I'm going to start off by giving you really basic instruction on how to create a 2-point perspective, just sort of box, and we're going to be turning these boxes into structures later on to be continued, and I'll share with you what that will be in the next day or two. But anyway, let me turn this. By the way, we're in my garage. This is my little studio in my garage. You can only see this much, but there's lots of paint brushes and things like that in front of me. So anyway, let me turn this around. Boom. Okay, so this is a 2-point perspective drawing. And again, these are just boxes at this point. And we're going to be turning them into something new and fabulous as the days progress. So anyway, 2-point perspective drawing allows you to see one object at different points of view. So we have a front view and a side view, or vice versa. And also, depending on where the object is sitting, we might be able to see a bottom view or a top view. And all of these rules for perspective are super simple. As long as you sort of adhere to the rules, you're going to be really successful. So, a couple of different terms you need to understand before we get started. These 2 X's that are on either side of the center line, these X's are called vanishing points, and these are the points at which any angled line, any orthogonal line, these are called orthogonal lines, O-R-T-H-O, orthogonal lines go towards the vanishing point. Okay, so there's that. And then the final thing you need to understand is this line right here. If we were out on a field or out at the beach, this would be the sky, and this part would be the land or the water or something like that, whatever is in the foreground, and then obviously the sky really helps for the background. So that gives us the appearance as if we're walking into the field, or looking at the ocean in the distance, or in the sky in the background, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. This line right here is our horizon. Oh, learn how to spell. O-I-Z-O, horizon line. And the horizon line is where the sky meets the land or the water, and we're going to consider the horizon line as our height or our point of view, or our eye line, okay? And so our horizon is always going to stay consistent. So if you were looking straight ahead, whether, you know, even if we're like looking at this bottle, the further up you are, the more of the bottom of the bottle you see. The further down you are, the more of the top of the bottle you see. It's just changing your angle depending on height of the object. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to instruct y'all on how to do these 5 boxes, okay? And these 5 boxes are going to be due for a check-in, and this check-in will be on Wednesday, and that will be for a grade, okay? So let me flip to a new page, and I'm going to show you how to build. And you're going to notice that this is full of lots of straight lines. And if you don't have a ruler, hey, you're just like me. I did all of that without a ruler. All I did was I took a page from my sketchbook, I folded it in half, I made sure it was nice and even, and I just get a nice straight edge from a little stiff piece of paper, and that's all you need for this project. Pencil, some paper, and you're good to go. As long as you're paying attention to the rules of perspective, you're in great shape. So to get started, what you're going to need to do is make sure that your page is horizontally justified, meaning you have the long side at the top, short sides on the side, so you're giving yourself a lot of room. That's also landscape orientation. And then what you're going to do at that point is just about the center of the page, you're going to draw your horizon line. So you're going to do a line right smack down the center, nice and straight, nice and even. And then on either side, towards the edge, not right on the edge, but towards the edge, you want to have your vanishing points. So go ahead and draw your vanishing points. And these X's that you do should really be existing. They should be crisscrossing right on the horizon line. Where those 2 lines cross, it should be right on the horizon line. All right, so the first drawing, the first box we're going to be doing, let me look at my previous drawing, is kind of a midway box sort of in the center. And so what we're going to do that is you need to make sure that any vertical is really truly vertical, and all of your other lines are going to be orthogonal lines that go towards those vanishing points. So the first line that we do is probably going to be approximately 1.5 inches tall, somewhere towards the top. You want to give yourself some room before your page ends. So 1.5 inches, nice and vertical, nice and straight. If it's tilted from one side to the other, you're going to be really out of whack. So really make sure you create nice, 90-degree angles there when you're lining things up. Okay, so then your next step, from the top and the bottom of this vertical line, you're going to lightly draw, because we're going to be doing some erasing, you're going to lightly draw an orthogonal line that goes to the vanishing point. And again, go light because we're going to be erasing. You're going to do that one more time from the bottom of the vertical. You're going to be connecting from the bottom towards the center of the vanishing point. I'm going to do that on the right side. Then I'm going to do that on the left side. So from the top of the vertical, make sure I'm hitting my center of my vanishing point. Boom, right there. And again, all of this should be super duper light, so you can erase it later, just like so. Then, to create the actual box itself, what you're going to do is keep your vertical line shifted over to the left on the left side here. Make sure that this line and this line are parallel with each other, running really straight along next to each other. And this is probably about 1.5 inches away. It doesn't truly matter how long or how wide it is, as long as this sideline is really nice and straight up and down. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, you can make it super skinny to cut it off, or you can make it super wide. And I'm going to make it sort of in the middle, sort of medium. Again, make sure that your lines are nice and parallel with each other before you draw. Lean up against your paper. And then what I'm going to do at this point is any orthogonal line on the outside here, you're going to want to go ahead and erase. So you're going to erase over here, boom, erase the orthogonal line on the outside here. And again, as you get better, if you know that you're lining up, if you've got your ruler aligned, you don't have to necessarily draw all the way. And I'll show you that later on. You got that. So get rid of my extra. I'm going to darken up my orthogonal line. That was a little sad, a little weak. Okay. Now to create, because this is our eye line, we're looking up. And if we're looking up, we're going to be able to see the bottom of this box. So what we do to create our bottom is we draw lines that go crisscrossing on each other. So if you're working on the right, you're going to be drawing towards the left vanishing point. And if you're working on the left, you're going to be drawing towards the right vanishing point. You have to draw to the vanishing point. Don't ever draw to the horizon line. So again, aiming, making sure I'm hitting my target right there, making sure I'm on the corner right there. And I'm just going to go part of the way. You see how I'm lined up, but I'm not using all that extra pencil right there. Okay? I'm going to erase a little bit, but not a lot. Then again, from this front corner, line it up with my vanishing point right here. And I'm going to go ahead and stop. Now, rule when you're doing any perspective drawing, when you hit another line, you stop. You stop, stop, stop. Don't do anything else. As soon as you hit something, you stop dead in your tracks so you can create a really accurately drawn form. So there is box number 1. And again, you can stop, rewind, that sort of thing. I'm going to draw a box now that's really close to the horizon line. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to start with a nice vertical line. I'm going to draw a little bit to the right of my first box. I'm going to stop about 1/4 inch to the horizon line. I'm going to go through the same exact process again, but this time I'm going to go a little bit faster, and y'all just follow along. Slow me down if you need to, speed me up if you need to. Again, if you hit another line, just stop along the way. Like if this line was a little bit taller, I would hit this box. If I hit another box, all I got to do is stop and don't do anything more. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to stop, making sure that I'm lined up all the time. Boom, stop. I'm going to make sure it's nice and vertical on the sides, and stop. Now, any extra stuff I have on the side, I'm going to erase. Okay, now because, let me make that darker for you. Now because I'm right at the horizon line here, I'm going to still be able to see a little sliver of the bottom. So just like here, where you go from the right to the left or the left to the right vanishing point, it's the same exact thing again, just less room. So your straight edge is going to become very, very important. Sharp pencil, nice straight edge. So from the right, I go towards the left. And from the left, let me get this even closer. And from the left, I go towards the right. And when you hit another line, you just stop. And any extra stuff, it's getting a little squishy. Any extra stuff that you have, you just erase it. But that's going to give you an opportunity for a bottom for your future objects that you have. Okay? So, all right, I'm going to do a big box down in front of us. So we want to make it look like something's right smack in front of us. So I'm going to do a nice vertical line. Big one, big long one. That's about 2.5 or 3 inches. From the top, I'm going to go to my vanishing point, and I'm going to stop halfway. Now you'll notice the further away you are from your vanishing point, the higher of an angle you're going to be drawing from. So you need to be aware of that. Again, every single time you're just drawing to that vanishing point, you're just drawing to that X. Make sure you're always to the center of your vanishing point. All right, and then I'm going to draw my sides. Again, keep it really vertical, nice and vertical along the side. Boom, and then boom. Again, it doesn't matter how wide you get. You can go really close to it, really, or super far from it. Make it look like a long, wide structure. I'm going to eliminate my extra orthogonal lines, my extra sides. And then what I'm going to do is crisscross. So from the corner, I'm going to go to this X. Again, I didn't go all the way because I don't want to use that extra pencil. I just need to make sure I am lined up. And then from this other corner, I'm going to go towards my X over here, my vanishing point. And stop when I hit another line, okay? And then magically, you end up having a really cool looking box. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna stop here. That's gonna be your practice for today. I'm gonna be looking for these to be done on Wednesday, and on Wednesday, I'm gonna show you some more steps in our 2-point perspective process. And from there, we're going to be discussing the actual project itself, but we need to get some practice going on. On Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be hosting a Google Meet, and I'll send out that information for you early this week, probably Tuesday. We'll be doing a Google Meet if you have any questions on how to take care of this stuff. So, we'll do the Google Meet on Wednesday. And if you have any questions about how to take care of this stuff, that's fine. And then I'll be sending out a new video also on Wednesday, so you can proceed with this project. So, new video on Wednesday, Google Meet on Wednesday, and we'll have a check-in, and you'll see that assignment in your Google Classroom, so I can see your progress with this drawing. Okay, so I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are not feeling too crazy or too anxious with all of this insanity going on, and that if you need anything, I'm always here. Just reach out and be nice to each other, be nice to your family, and I miss you guys, and I love you all, and be good, and I will see you really soon, and we'll do Google Meet on Wednesday. All right, I'll send out that info. All right, goodbye.